Hey guys, I want to show you something really curious. Curious not because it's anything that you will not find on the market, but curious because it's custom made and you will not see it on any other Ryker. I'm talking about a steering stabilizer for the Ryker. This is not the typical steering stabilizer that you will buy out of the shelf. Those ones that you buy out of the shelf, uh, they're pretty, uh, they're good, but it has its limitations because that steering stabilizer it get hooked up in the chassis, and from the chassis is hooked up to the steering column. You have to understand that from the tires rod ends for the tire ball joints at the very end close to the tire, you have linkage that goes to another ball joint, that goes to another linkage, and that linkage goes to the steering column, and to the steering column is finished on the handlebar. So you have too many moving parts from the tire to the steering column, if that is the name. I don't know actually what is the actual name, but the closer you put the steering stabilizer close to the handlebar, the less effect you will feel it on the tires. You will feel the handlebar probably more stable because the shock is actually holding the bar that is hooked up to the handlebar. But that doesn't mean that the bike will be more stable. It will eventually will be more stable because you have something that is holding. But whatever is holding is holding the first portion close to the rider, the first portion of the whole components that including into the steering. So my setup is closer to the tie rods, it's closer to the wheels. So the effect on the Ryker is actually the real to the wheels, not to the steering column. So the is way more effective the way I have it than the other way with the shock on the steering stabilizer. Well, there it is. As you might see, I will try to use my handy dandy screwdriver to point things. This is a radial steering stabilizer. Scotty made this. This is not actually a Scotty, but it works perfectly for my Ryker. This steering stabilizer is made for super bikes, for sport bikes, and is on-road steering stabilizer, is not off-road. I modified this because the way this, it has a piston, the baffle inside, and it's hooked up to this linkage. The linkage goes side to side. I will see if I can show you closer. It moves side to side. The reason I had to add this piece right here is because I don't remember exactly how far this linkage travels, but I believe it's 9 inches. So I had to extend this so it will travel side to side a total of 9 inches, and that is the reason I extended. And then I put a linkage with a fabricated bracket, and it's hooked up to this linkage that goes across. That's why this system is closer to the wheel and is not holding actually the steering column, if I may call it that. So the effect of the steering stabilizer goes closer to the tires. Then let me see if I can zoom in more. Then this steering stabilizer has, this is the highest speed adjustment that you can adjust. In the case you hit something really hard with one of the tires, it will not knock the handlebar out of you, and it will not lose control of the bike. It's very sensitive. If you drive normally, you will never feel the effect of this. The 2 times I felt the effect of this is when I rode off-road. Then the steering got hard itself without me adjusting it. Talking about adjusting the steering stabilizer, this is the main pressure for how you feel the tires at all time. This is connected to a servo. This servo moves this remote control. So that's why I was able to adjust it from the riding position without ever coming here to open the hood and adjust it. I will show you how it works. Hopefully you can see it. That travel is already pre-set up. I know that this is the lightest shock effect that I will feel in the handlebar, and it's perfect for me to park and to put it here in my garage. I have to do a lot of maneuvers to put it here in my garage in reverse, and on the maximum setting that the servo allows me to go, which is somewhere here. It is really hard. It is really hard to steer, and I will show you now. It's hard to show you the effect on how you feel on the handlebar, but I will try to do a far shot so you can see it. What I'm actually doing when I'm riding is the only thing I have to do is to control the steering servo with this. It's preset. It only has 180 degrees or more. I believe it's 270. I'm moving this back and forth. I'm able to adjust it without ever getting out of the bike. Then if you're able to see the steering servo, I'm going to put it on the lightest, and you will see that it's pretty light. And if I adjust it a little bit, start getting harder, a little more, even harder. That is going to be 80% of what I preset already, and this is maximum. This is just to go into interstate and go really side to side, and the wind doesn't push you over, nothing like that. I raised the bike so the tires are off the ground, so it's easy for me to move it side to side. But that is why I'm able to control it from the riding position, and that is unique. You will not see that setup anywhere. Other things that I can mention about this setup, I have marks with paint on the things that they don't get loose, the position of the belt, let me turn it off so I can move it manually. If something goes wrong, you can move it manually. But you see, there I have marks where are preset, so I know where it is, or if something goes wrong, I already have marks if something got loose or anything. But like I said, I made it one time, I never touch it again. The only thing I did, I used a different viscosity of oil here to match what I was looking for. And here inside, well, this is only a cap, but there's a screwdriver thing to set it there. And if you can see, I don't think you can see it. But this is these are the sweep controls. And there's another one here. Right there. Those are preset to where I want it. I will show you what is the angle of release that I had on my bike. Maybe I'm gonna use a narrower setting, but I will try to show how it works. I will try to show what is the angle of swipe controls that I adjusted. Let me see. I'm gonna check out. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in medium. You see, it's here is where I have the dampen effect. But if I go through 30 degrees, it can lose. And it only works in a totally of 30 degrees. And this is the maximum, and you will see when I release it. Another thing, if I ever have a problem, I shut it off. If this is for some reason it's tight, it never happened to me in almost 3 years. This is the original. This is from my printer. This is the original belt. But if for some reason goes wrong or the servo burns, you shut it off and you can move it by hand. You lose it by hand. It doesn't matter. Anyway, when you energize this again, it will go back to where it was, where the presetting. I'm gonna energize. You will see how it goes to where it was. Hopefully it makes something for people. And as you can see, this is a custom Ryker. As you might see on my other videos, this is still have the air suspension system. It has the air shifter. These are the two solenoids for the air shifter. This is the computer for the air shifter. There's my horn. There's my steering stabilizer. That is the reason I cannot put the regular steering stabilizer. I don't have any room. And as you might see, I don't even have a battery here. The battery is inside the frunk. I have many reasons that I put it there. When I show people that I don't have my stock battery here, they start saying, "Oh, how are you gonna be?" What can I say? I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing when it's time to modifying things. Then I'm gonna show you more curious things. I know it's a long video and maybe some people will not even reach up to this point, but I will tell you, ride safe, take care of you, your family needs you. Bye.